The title of our presentation is Spelling Errors of Dyslexic Learners in German. I am Sofia Tsakalidou, Postdoctoral Researcher in the Department of German Language and Literature, Aristotle University of Thessaloniki, and Principal of the 3rd Junior High School of Mikra, and a foreign language educator with 23 years of teaching experience. The contents of our presentation are Introduction, German as the first language of learners with dyslexia, German as the second foreign language of learners with dyslexia, interference errors in the English and German languages, conclusion and references. We investigate the spelling errors of learners with dyslexia in the German language in the case that it is the first language and foreign language of the learners. Our analysis is grounded in existing literature and the findings from the author's doctoral research. In the present study, we examined the spelling difficulties of learners with dyslexia when learning German as a second foreign language. The aim of the study was twofold: the comparative analysis of the spelling difficulties across two populations and the evaluation of the effectiveness of spelling intervention for learners with dyslexia. The study's unique sample comprises learners whose first language is Greek and whose first foreign language is English. To ensure a robust research foundation, an extensive literature review on these two language systems was conducted, informing the development of research tools such as the spelling test and phonological awareness test. We will specifically analyze dyslexic learners' spelling errors in two contexts: German as a first language and German as a second foreign language, providing insights into the cross-linguistic manifestations of dyslexia. We listed some spelling difficulties and errors encountered by learners with dyslexia in German as their first language. Confusing letters and sounds, confusing letters that look similar, confusing numbers that look similar, errors in consonant clusters and diphthongs. Omission and addition errors. Omitting words or parts of a word, omitting sounds and graphemes, confusing letters that sound similar, adding letters to the word. Phonetic and phonological errors, such as transposing letters and errors in writing words of foreign origin. Spelling and orthographic errors, such as errors in rarely used letters or errors in capitalization. Specialized errors, like replacing IE with I, errors in the use of silent H, simplifying double consonants. After the research in the context of my doctoral dissertation was conducted, it was found that the learners with dyslexia learning German as a second foreign language make errors in double consonants and the use of the silent H, have particular difficulty in words with a more complex structure, three-syllabic or polysyllabic words, add graphemes to the words, reverse graphemes, make errors in consonant clusters and diphthongs, confuse letters that sound or look similar, omit, add, replace consonants, syllables, or whole words, and make errors in capitalization. The most common errors found after conducting this research with dyslexic learners learning German as a second foreign language are also met in the previous section, where the errors of learners with dyslexia learning German as their first language are listed. We should of course explain that in the case of our research, German is the second foreign language, and this comparison concerns two dissimilar cases, as the mechanisms of language acquisition of a first language and a foreign language, as well as a second foreign language, are quite different. Nevertheless, there are many common elements, which leads us to the conclusion that although we are talking about a different mechanism of acquisition, the difficulties encountered by learners with dyslexia have a common basis and, in fact, many similarities. We will further examine various error types, giving examples from the literature review, German as a first language, and from our research data, German as a second foreign language. confusing letters and sounds. They confuse letters that look similar, confuse numbers that look similar, as well as letters that sound similar. Phonetic and graphemic errors. Errors in consonant clusters and diphthongs. Errors in the use of silent H, replacing IE with E. Omission and additional errors. Omitting words and syllables, omitting sounds and graphemes, adding graphemes. Transposition and simplification. Simplifying double consonants, transposing letters. Errors in rare or foreign letters or words. Errors in rare letters such as Q, X, Y. Errors in words from other languages. Miscellaneous errors such as errors in capitalization. The affinity of the two languages, English and German, has more advantages than the corresponding disadvantages. The learner who has already been taught English has the opportunity to use his pre-existing knowledge when learning German as a second foreign language. Furthermore, the similarities of the two foreign languages appear mainly in the field of vocabulary. Of course, the learner's first language also plays a dominant role, as the similarities or differences with the foreign language can make their learning easier or more difficult. In addition to the clear advantages of this particular succession of languages, there are also disadvantages, such as, for example, the incorrect transfer of language structures from one language to another, interference errors. The two types of transfer are positive and negative, which is defined as interference, and its types are interlingual and intralingual interference, or external and internal interference. Linguistic interference is defined as the effect of the first language on the first foreign language, as well as the effect of the first foreign language on the second foreign language. Some examples of interference errors in spelling in the English-German language pair are given in this table. Capitalization of nouns, the sound K mostly in international words, or as the first letter of homophones, the sound sh. The different use of double consonants in the English language as a suffix, the different use of double consonants in the English language inside the word, the graphemes F in German and PH in English, omitting the umlaut, the diphthongs and the consonant clusters of the German language. In our comparative analysis of spelling errors across different languages, we observe a notable consistency in the types of errors made by learners with dyslexia. This cross-linguistic comparison reveals that while these errors are also present among non-dyslexic peers, the frequency and severity of errors are significantly higher in dyslexic learners. From an educational standpoint, educators must have a thorough understanding of the potential error types dyslexic learners might exhibit. The primary objective of analyzing spelling errors is to identify the specific weaknesses of each learner. This analysis serves as a foundation for providing targeted support, whether through additional instruction or specialized interventions, and for tailoring instructional approaches to meet the individual needs of all students. Without this detailed understanding of the errors, educators can't accurately assess the learning difficulties, nor can they effectively select appropriate materials or strategies to address these challenges. Here you can view the references used for this presentation. Thank you very much.